Hello and welcome to the dark Parisian underground club we've been playing Far Cry 4 in for the past hour or so. We wanted to show you what a real press event looks like. So, let's go. Here we have some chicken, which is cool. And then a real life Tauntaun with some automatic weapons on it, and a grenade and a shotgun and exploding barrels around and stuff. Behind us are a bunch of nuts and some finger painting color or sand, like, you know, the colorful sand thing that they make ground stuff out of. And here is where all the action happens. We have managed to snag a couple of minutes with Alexander Hutchinson, who is creative director at on Far Cry 4. Tell us, Far Cry 1, 2, and 3, they all had very distinct feels. Does 4 continue on this this path of innovation, or do you feel you hit the perfect formula with 3?
I almost need you to answer that question more than me. Well, obviously, we tried to keep parts of 3 that we thought were very well received, just as 3 kept parts of 2 and 2 kept parts of 1. You know, it's a franchise, so you evolve, and you know, we kept the outposts, but did a lot of work to them and changed them up, added fortresses. We kept the bell towers, and we kept the skill system. But pretty much everything else, it's a new story, new world, new environment, new characters, new antagonists to fight, new tools, hovercrafts, gyrocopters, elephants. And obviously co-op as well. So for us, it's a big jump. But yeah, hopefully people that love 3 will also love 4.
You mentioned animals. Of course, they played a minor role in 3. Actually, not a minor role. Actually, they were pretty important. But they seem to have taken a much deeper twist in 4. Can you explain a little bit why it's so important for the animals to play such a big role?
Yeah, so Far Cry, one of the fun things about Far Cry is it's a game, set in the outdoors. It's an open world game, but it's mostly about exploring, rivers and lakes and valleys and not so much cities or urban environments. It's one of the things I think that keeps the franchise fresh. And so obviously when you're in there, you think, all right, what can the threats be? What can the encounters be? What do you come across? And animals, obviously, in the wild are a big factor. And we tried to iterate and bring a whole new suite of animals, everything from elephants to rhinos to all kinds of different creatures. The honey badger is in there. And then the goal was to make them each important in the economy. So you can you need to hunt them to craft things. They're important in certain side quests. They're obviously threats in the open world. They're part of the economy, so they're really central to the game. And hopefully, this particular time round, they're as good as they've ever been.
Right, and they don't only serve a purpose as crafting materials. They also serve other purposes, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can ride the elephant. That's fun. It's the only animal you can ride. It's like a destruction machine. One of the new features I really like is bait. So basically you can, when you hunt, you get not just a skin, but you also get bait. You can throw that into an enemy camp and lure in a predator from outside. So there's all kinds of new strategies in the game.
Right. Another important aspect is the co-op, and this time around you've chosen to give at least a part of the game for free to players who don't have it already. How does that work?
Yeah, so we have a really good relationship with Sony on the game. So when we were talking about what we were going to announce at E3 with them, we had this idea that on Sony platforms, so on a PlayStation 3 or a PlayStation 4, if you buy a copy of the game, you can send a key to Karat to your friends, and what that means is they can play with you in the open world for 2 hours, even if they don't own a copy of the game. So obviously they'll have to download the chunk of the game, but then hopefully they enjoy it enough that they want to buy it, and then it'll just be a simple button press.
Right, and they don't have to download the entire game, or is it just a part of it that they?
They get a lot of it just because you can invite your friend at any point. So the co-op is only in the open world, so it's not in the story missions. But obviously you can be anywhere in the open world doing anything. So we have to give you a huge chunk of the game before you can invite someone.
Yeah. Another question about that is will a player be able to join games with more than one owner of the game? Like if I invite someone and a friend of mine invites the same person, will he only be able to play with the first one he accepts, or can he play with more?
It's 2-player co-op only, so you can it's always you and a friend. We wanted to keep it intimate and to make it about tactical planning and conversation and communication. So it's 2 players max. But you get a bunch of keys. I don't know how many they decide on the end. I think there's 10 keys, so you can hand it out to a bunch of friends.
Right, and can those friends accept from requests from more than keys from more than one person? Or
no. Only the person who buys the game can send keys.
Yeah. But if 2 people who buy keys send to the same person, can he accept?
Then he can play. Yeah, he can play.
Right. Okay, cool. That was right. You mentioned in an interview the possibility of hardcore mode with diseases and stuff like that. Yeah. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, it's still something I'm really excited about. Like we haven't got it in production yet, but I really like the idea of a version of the game where everything is deadly. The water's deadly, the air is deadly. But yeah, I'm still trying to hard sell it in the office. So we'll see if we get progress.
Right. What has been becoming more and more apparent these days is the difference between games that are released on new gen and next gen. What are some of the differences that players might notice between the versions of the game?
Yeah, so we had a pretty clear goal when we started production, which was to gameplay-wise, to keep them identical. So on current-gen consoles or last-gen consoles or PC, your game will be pretty much the same. A few more encounters, on next-gen consoles, so a little bit more density, but otherwise identical. But you have all kinds of other features. So you've got a new lighting engine on next-gen. You've got great new fur shaders on all the animals. Better water, reflections and physics. So basically, lots and lots of visual upgrades for PC and our current gen owners.
Thank you very much for your time.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
We certainly did. Thank you.
Far Cry 4.